Hey everybody, it's Natalie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Starco, aka Star and Marco from Star vs. The Voice of Evil, why they're my favorite couple and why you should like them too. So first of all, we're going to start by talking about the individual characters. So Marco is this human boy. Marco Diaz is this human boy. Before he meets Star, he's considered the safe kid at school, and as he battles monsters to protect her and her wand. And at one point, he's so devoted to her that he ages 16 years in another dimension just to get dimensional scissors for her. And he gets his rail belt at one point. He rescues her best friend that doesn't like him, other best friend that doesn't like him, just out of loyalty to her, and becomes a knight at one point. And then there's a story arc where their souls are bound by the blood moon curse because they're under the light of the blood moon and in the underworld, and they end up, Marco says, I like every single thing about you, and Marco stars this interdimensional princess who has a wand, and at one point she doesn't even need the wand, she can do magic without it, which is so awesome. Anyway, but then they dance, and so now he thinks everything she does is adorable, and he likes everything about her. So then her boyfriend at the time, Tom, because it says they're cursed, so it's supernatural, so that they're blood moon cursed, so they end up removing the curse, and so then they claim they're no longer in love, but as they relive the memory that caused that, they wonder if it was never the blood moon and they were always in love. But we don't really know at that point, and I'm devastated because I shipped them so much. And so Star, at one point she's discovered there's this thing, girl Jackie, that Marcus had a crush on since kindergarten. At one point they become a couple, and Star gets really jealous when they go on a dance together instead of going with her. And then at one point, this guy writes this song about her, and he secretly writes this part about her having a crush on Marco, so that he believes she has a crush on him, and things become awkward between them. But then she confesses her feelings for him, and then they leave. And then she leaves from uni and believes she's never coming back. And so he doesn't say anything at the time, but then he ends up living at uni with her, and because he's dating Jackie. Later she broke up with him because she knew he was still in love with Star, and told him to go be with her, go to Muni where she's from and be with her. And so Star makes Marco her squire so that they can hang out again. And at one point later, after she's dating somebody else, Tom, her ex-boyfriend that she got back together with, she, Tad, this girl Kelly's boyfriend, knows Marco has feelings for Star, and then he denies them at first, saying that you have dimensional scissors, you could be in a dimension, you're making yourself miserable being around Star. And he denies this because he claims he's miserable because Jackie dumped him, and he says, you're choosing to have saying on your unavailable crush. So then he finally admits that he likes Star, but not to her. And then at one point, he and Star are in this booth together where they're trapped, and then they end up kissing, and he admits that he has a crush on her, but nothing happens there. And it's one of my favorite moments, actually. And so they end up becoming best friends. They stay best friends, and then at one point he starts dating this girl Kelly, and she stays with Tom, but then he breaks up with Kelly at one point. And so then at one point, Star said they're playing this game called Truth or Punishment. And before all this, Marco says crush on Jackie, and Star says Oscar, this other guy, the boxer likes Marco. So at one point, Tom breaks up with Star after she doesn't know what to do when he goes on this trip, where he realizes that he needs to have a girlfriend that he can be best friends with, and she's already best friends with Marco. So then he tells Marco that he knows that they still have feelings for each other and that they should get together. And he says, and Marco claims it was just the blood moon curse, but then Tom knows that's not true and that they belong together. So then Star, oh my gosh, it tears my heartstrings. So then they're in this magic dimension where their memory gets erased, and Marco, under the days, confesses his love for Star. And so then she tells him she loves him, and then they kiss and become a couple. And then at one point, when the bad guys are taking over Muni, she decides she needs to destroy magic, but then Marco will get sent back, and then there will be no way to travel between dimensions. So then she has a choice to make, Marco, or she ends up having to save her people. Then when they get stuck in the magic dimension together, and then, well, they choose to stay in the magic dimension to be with each other, and they say, with or without magic, we belong together. Oh my gosh, it's my absolute favorite scene. And then they embrace, and then you see these glows on their cheeks, and you see there's magic happening. And so when they get back to their respective dimensions, they see this portal, and they desperately try to get to it, and when it closes, Marco thinks, oh, I missed my chance to be with Star again. But turns out the Muni and Earth are united, and they're able to be together. And that's how the series ends. A lot of people have problems with the ending because they're like, why didn't they just wrap up a nice, good ending where it's satisfying? Well, I'm very satisfied with that ending. I think it's absolutely perfect because it gets Star and Marco together, and it kind of leaves your wonder, and it kind of is the happy ending because you know that they're going to end up being together, and they're able to be together, and that's really all I need to know, is that Star and Marco are together, and that they're able to be together. And I don't really care if they ended up being nice and complete, because I'm satisfied with that ending. I think it's absolutely perfect because it pays homage to who they are. So, also, one of the other things I wanted to mention is some of their best moments. So when they belong together, Kiss and Here to Help, Blood Moon Ball, I mentioned, their confession. So when Marco doesn't know if he can become a knight, he makes her a cave that they have matching capes, and he said, my lifelong post is our friendship. Beautiful moment. And then in Quest Bio, when they're about to be disintegrated, he says, I want them to know we're friends, so let's go die together. And Marco ends up going that 16 years I mentioned. He says, I like my new life here. But she tells him, what about your friends or your parents or me? And then he looks at the scissors. He looks at himself, his reflection. Then he looks at her and goes, I need to be with Star. Oh my gosh, my heart. It's absolutely beautiful. So anyway, that's my dog. So the reason why you should like Star and Marco. So Star and Marco are they love each other, first of all. Their relationship is beautiful. They're loyal to each other. They're best friends first. They become lovers. And you're always cheering, and I'm always cheering for them to be together. And they risk everything just to be together. And they sacrifice for each other. And they want to be together no matter what. And they're best friends. It's just, how can you not love Star and Marco? I just don't get it. Or the ending. Don't get it if you don't. But those are my reasons for loving Star and Marco, and for loving the ending. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like rating and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. I will see you later. Bye.